Good afternoon everyone, and today I'm sharing another review of the 2025 Infiniti QX60 with the new VC turbocharged engine. Stay tuned and let's go. And today I'm featuring this 2025 Infiniti QX60 with the new VC turbocharged engine. We're located in Infiniti of Tampa Bay area. If you're looking to buy a new Infiniti vehicle, please come visit Infiniti of Tampa. I'm not affiliated with this dealership by any means. I'm just sharing, and thanks to Infiniti for letting me review this vehicle and drive this vehicle. So let's go. I think it makes sense to start from the specs of this vehicle first, because from an exterior standpoint, nothing has been actually changed except for the new color. So for 2025, this is the new color combination with the black top and this gray lower portion of the body. But back to the engine. So Infiniti has unfortunately dropped the V6, which was the VQ35DD with direct injection 3.5 natural aspirated engine, producing 295 horsepower and 268, around 268 to 70 pound-feet of torque. Made it with ZF 9-speed. Now this vehicle will be solely powered by this VC turbocharged engine. So it's 2-liter turbocharged engine, direct injection with variable compression ratio. That's why you see this name of this car, of this engine, VC turbo, variable compression. So it varies from 8 to 14 based on the engine load. So depending on the drive mode, depending on how hard you accelerate, for example, right? Depending on the drive mode, whether it's automatic, whether it's manual, whether it's eco, whether it's a sport, and depending on the angle where accelerator is pressed. So depending on so many factors, this vehicle and its ECU will actually determine whether it has to engage the lower compression ratio or it has to engage the higher compression ratio. So definitely this vehicle, this engine, should I say, got torquier. So we're gonna see how this vehicle actually drives in the driving portion of this video. But Infiniti says that the improvement should be done in the mid-range. So basically cruising around. It's not about full acceleration. It's not about 0 to 60 time. This vehicle is not about that. It's about quiet and comfortable cruising around this vehicle, especially on this Autograph model. So in terms of ground clearance, it's 6.7 inches, which is around 170 millimeters of ground clearance. In terms of torque numbers in Newton meters, it's 390 Newton meters of torque for my friends from Canada, for my viewers from Canada, from European countries. So this vehicle is one of the best, or it's the best-selling Infiniti vehicle currently on the market. So nothing has changed from the suspension standpoint. Still, it's McPherson struts in the front, and it's multi-link suspension in the back. Obviously, this vehicle has gotten its Autograph trim, the all-wheel drive, but it's a standard all-wheel drive, so you have a clutch in the back which engages or disengages depending on your drive mode, depending on the current driving situation. You have hood struts, and yeah, I mean, that's about it in terms of technical specs. And also this vehicle requires a premium unleaded gas, so at least 91 octane here in the US. I think it's time to close up the hood. This is the new color for the 2025 QX60. I really like this color combination with the black top. So tire-wise, it's 255 by 50 20-inch tires. It's Hankook, wrapped in Hankook tires As you can see, you have compared to the QX80 2025 QX80, actually this one has got a wheel well insulated better, because in the QX80 I saw the engine compartment, the engine bay was visible from this standpoint, but here I don't see that. So they did a better job here. I don't think, maybe it's a temporal thing with QX80, but with QX60 it looks better to me. And I wish Infiniti had this body colored plastic elements here. For example, if you take a BMW X5, the standard X5 trim, it comes standard with unpainted black plastic like this one, for example. But higher trims like M Sport packages and M Sport Pro packages, they give you an option to go with the body colored panels here. But again, it's not bad, it's just a personal preference. I'm just comparing to with a few more vehicles in its class. You have crossbars, you have black panel roof, it's painted. The railings are black as well. Roof racks, it's an optional equipment actually, the crossbars, but the roof racks themselves, obviously not. Infiniti spelled out across the tailgate. All-wheel drive is standard for the Autograph and QX60. As you can see, there are no visible exhaust tips. Actually, this vehicle, and specifically Autograph, comes standard with a pre-wired tow hitch, so it's ready to tow. The towing capacity is 6,000 pounds, so the towing capacity has not changed, which is really great. So still, regardless of the engine option under the hood, you can tow up to 6,000 pounds, which is really great. So I really like the back of this vehicle and the tail lights. Really, everything is LED here. Again, interior and the looks is everyone's preference. I'm not going to talk more about that. I think this is a handsome and greatly looking vehicle. You actually also have a lit front logo. As you can see, it's illuminated, so it'll be visible even more at night. Keyless access on all four doors. In terms of up and down windows, it's automatic up and down for all four. You have both Performance Series acoustic here, and you have, from what I can see, this is a double pane glass here in the front, compared to, for example, to the rear. Yeah, the rear is just a single glass, and this one is double pane laminated acoustic glass here, which actually explains, because I have already driven this vehicle, and it explains that it's very quiet, although one of the drawbacks is that the tires are currently overinflated, so I won't be able to share my complete thoughts on the riding quality. Although I tested this vehicle 2 years ago and was launched here in the US, and I can say it's a very comfortable vehicle. It's much quieter than the same platform Nissan Pathfinder, which Infiniti uses that platform obviously for QX60, sorry, as well. In the Autograph model, actually what you can see right after opening the door, you have this really nice semi-aniline leather. It's natural, genuine leather. It's ventilated, it's heated, it's obviously power operated, and it has massaging function for the front driver's seat and for the front passenger seat. You have your regular controls for the seats. You have the massaging button here as well. You have contrast stitching and piping, and this quilted leather looks just amazing. And I really like how Infiniti did a great job with this real wood inserts on the door panel. Everything looks so good. Everything is just soft molded touch plastic here with contrast stitching. Is very soft, and the only hard plastic starts here on the lower bottom, on the lower portion of the door. You have illuminated door sills. So let's get inside because it's really hot outside. And again, this is the top trim Nissan, sorry, I wanted to say Nissan, Infiniti Autograph. So you have quilted leather here on the dash here, and then you have genuine wood inlays on the dash as well. It continues here, so looks wise, it looks very, very upscale, very posh, I would say. So I really like, especially the combination of this beige, creamy leather with quilted inserts. You have black ceiling, you have panoramic sunroof, you can actually open that. And in terms of the seats themselves, so they are pretty nicely bolstered, I would say. And yeah, the structure of the stitching and the structure of the seat themselves looks really nice, especially with this white piping. And it looks expensive. So everything is in the same color. As you can see, the beige color. The glove box compartment is beige color as well. It's soft inside. It's not just bare plastic, so that's cool. Just a little bit of piano black plastic here on this line on the dash, and you have this nicely done and nicely configured AC cluster, but not only AC, as well as infotainment as well. So here you have two knobs, two dials, so you can change the temperature. It looks just amazing. It's haptic touch control, so when you click something, you can feel the feedback, right? So it's really nice. It's not just purely touch sensitive panel. It also provides the feedback, the haptic feedback. You have heated steering wheel, you have heated seats, ventilated seats, three-stage ventilated, three-stage heated. You have massaging function, so if you activate that button on the seat, I can bring the massage function. Let me go back to the main menu and click the button. So I can check what I have here. So lumbar, relaxing and refreshing, and you can choose between 5 different stages. So it can be more intense, it can be less intense. Yeah, speed, intensity, and speed. So you can adjust the speed and intensity for both the driver's seat and the passenger seat as well. So I will turn it off. For the drive, mostly it's working as a lumbar support, going up and down, back and forth. Still, it's something compared to nothing. Some of the German competitors, for example, they offer like specific air chambers, like really small air chambers. This is where you'll feel it to your legs, to your under thigh support. It's here in the Infiniti, it's mostly about lumbar support playing around. So on the left panel of the dash, you see it's available semi-autonomous driving. Obviously, it's not fully automatic driving, so you have to put your hands on the steering wheel. You have information, you have your active assistance system. So basically, it's automatic emergency braking, going forward, going backwards. It's lane keep assist. It's blind spot monitoring zone. And obviously it's adaptive cruise control. I really like how Infiniti went with this 12-inch screen digital gauge cluster. The resolution is really nice. It's crispy. You can cycle through different menus, and obviously coming and talking about the driver setting, the vehicle settings. Infiniti and Nissan vehicles, they have all these settings buried here in the digital gauge cluster. So you can select driver assistance, personal heads-up display, because this vehicle is featuring heads-up display, eco mode settings, TPMS settings, and units and languages, other vehicle settings like lights and locks. So everything can be configured here. Back once again, and then you can cycle through audio. You can have your phone connection, for example, like in my case, it's wireless Apple CarPlay connection here. We're located in Infiniti of Tampa. Unfortunately, the Apple CarPlay does not extend to all the way to the right, so you have this black portion. I don't know why. So in order to go back, you have to use these dials and routers and these buttons here to bring back and go back to the main menu. It's like a minor inconvenience here. As I already said, the panel looks just amazing, but you have to wipe it off sometimes in order to keep it clean and nice. You have wireless charger here. You have USB Type-C, USB Type-A. You have start-stop engine button here. You have different drive modes, which include Sport, Auto, Eco, and Personal. Unfortunately, this vehicle does not feature adaptive dampers. In that case, you would have adjustable adaptive dampers. You have auto start-stop, you have parking brake, auto hold, camera, 360 camera. You have different angles. So, for example, if you go to the rear, you can check between this view, and this view, 360 camera. So it's available, it's really nice. I wish Infiniti had a better camera eye resolution compared to German rivals. Some of them offer a bit more crispy resolution. Yeah, and it's very light and bright. So lights coming through the panoramic sunroof, even though it's very cloudy right now. Still, we have plenty of lights here inside the cabin. So 2 memory positions for the driver's seat and 2 memory positions for the passenger seat. So here you have sunshades. Unfortunately, somehow Infiniti does not provide sunshades for the QX80. I wish Infiniti had it for QX80, but for QX60, as you can see, it's here and it's very nice. Still the same Bose Performance Series audio system here. So rear seats, you can fold them completely in the flat floor. Let's take a look how that looks. Power operated trunk. You can fold the third row seats down. And you have some additional storage compartment here. You have a tire kit. What else? And oh no, actually you have a spare tire, but it's not full spare tire. It's just temporary spare tire, but it's better than a tire fix kit. So you can use these buttons to fold and unfold the back seats. As you can see, they are power operated, which is really nice. Okay, so you have to fold them down manually, but then you can unfold them and back them up. Yeah, it's very nice. So I will put it here. Let's close the tailgate. Yep, let's bring this in the upright position. So it started to rain. I'm here inside. Yeah, the captain chairs, only captain chairs for the Autograph edition. You have central console with 2 cup holders. It's 3-zone climate control here. You have heated seats, but you don't have ventilated seats, unfortunately. And I wish that Infiniti had ventilated seats option compared to, for example, Lexus TX and Lexus RX. Those vehicles, they offer ventilated rear seats. And so, especially considering the price of this vehicle, that would be nice. But I really like how this vehicle looks in terms of the interior and colors. It's just amazing. This beige cream quilted leather, which continues here for the second row seats as well, but not for the third row seats. I'm 6.2. I won't be able to sit comfortably there in the third row, but I think for children that would be barely enough, and maybe for some shorter adults. Obviously sunshades, as I mentioned before, black ceiling, and it's very comfortable. Yeah, you have sunshades, you have premium audio system. It looks just amazing. So basically from the exterior perspective, nothing has changed, just a refreshing my memory and my experience from 2 years ago when I first tested this vehicle. And now let's talk about pricing. So this is the top trim Autograph, which comes at right at $70,105. It's 2025 Infiniti QX60 Autograph. And nice thing about this car is that actually there are no markups at this dealership, Infiniti of Tampa, so it's just MSRP. So you can put and pause this video to see what options are included. It's 10.8 inch head-up display actually. Massaging front seats, as I mentioned, Wi-Fi hotspot, wireless at Apple CarPlay, wireless phone charging. Android Auto is not wireless, actually it's wired Android Auto. And so the base suggested retail base price for this vehicle is $66,150 plus cargo package, plus black roof rail crossbars, plus Infiniti red and grille emblem, illuminated logo as I mentioned. So with destination charges, $70,000 for this fully equipped QX60. Now I think it's time to take it for a drive. All right, Infiniti QX60 2025. It's automatic mode. Yeah, the first thing you notice actually driving this vehicle, if you already drove the QX60 V6 like I did 2 years ago, you immediately notice that, yeah, definitely that's not the V6. So people who drove this vehicle obviously gonna notice that. Is it bad? I don't think so. But in terms of NVH and specifically the engine noise coming to the cabin, definitely you will notice that. Because numbers are numbers, and even though Infiniti claims that this vehicle has got around 15, probably 15, less than 20 pound-feet of torque more compared to the V6 model, right? Still on the horsepower side of things, it's almost 30 less than it was before. 295 was before it was V6, and now it's 268. Actually, yeah, 268. It's like 272 PS or 268 HP, like American horsepower versus European horsepower. But that's fine. I mean, numbers are numbers. You're gonna test this vehicle. You have to test this vehicle if you're choosing a vehicle in this class, like Acura MDX or Lexus RX or something else in this class. Definitely want to test this vehicle and compare them In terms of NVH, like a regular NVH levels, I'm not talking about the engine noise, because definitely this is something that's coming into this cabin, and compared to the V6, it's not the most pleasing sound, probably, I would say, but that's my personal preference. But it's definitely torquey. Can I say it's torqueier than the V6 from the get-go, from the dig, from the start? I don't think so. I think V6 3.5 natural aspirated with direct injection was peppier and was torqueier from the dig, right? From the stop line, for example. So we came to a stop, complete stop sign. Now about to travel to the right. So regular slight acceleration here. There is a noticeable delay between the first and second, or the second and third gear. So you notice that definitely. I'm not sure whether it's the special thing of this combination of 9-speed transmission of this particular engine, because we have to remember that this engine was only available with the Nissan or Infiniti CVT. Now it's mated with 9-speed ZF, because ZF produces 9-speed automatic transmission for vehicles which are based on the front-wheel drive platform. And for example, Infiniti QX80, the new one, is based on the rear-wheel drive platform, its body and frame. So even though it has the 9-speed automatic, it's not the same 9-speed automatic. So not sure how Infiniti actually paired this vehicle, these engines, which is VC turbocharged engine with the 9-speed. But still you have to experience. But this automatic mode, so let's put it in a sport mode and let's see what happens. So in terms of U-turn and U-turn radius, it's very nice. It's very nice. So you don't have to have a lot of space to make a U-turn. Let's put it in the sport. Yep, now it's sport. So slight acceleration, not gonna. Still, did you hear that? So still you have this delays between the shifts, so you're gonna notice that. So V6 was faster in terms of upshifts, definitely. So brakes wise, they're very informative. So the more you press the pedal, the more informative the sensation of the braking is. And again, I have to admit that the tire pressure right now is 49 or 48 psi, while recommended tire pressure is 35. So definitely this vehicle is gonna feel on the firmer side compared to normally inflated tires per factory settings, so per factory recommendations. Other than that, if we are driving over normal pavement, right, so you don't feel any excessive NVH coming to the cabin, which I really like about this vehicle. And overall, the cabin is really quiet. This is why you purchase Infiniti over Nissan or over anything else. Even though the tires are overinflated, some bumps and road imperfections, they are not felt. They're not felt too dramatic, so I would say. Yeah, so basically my only complaint is that the engine noise is not on par with this vehicle class, but that's my personal preference. Again, it's really personal preference, because still you have more torque. Maybe it's just for me that it feels less torqueier from the dig compared to V6, but the numbers definitely have around 15 pound-feet of torque more compared to the V6 model pre-2025. Seats are very comfortable. You have ventilated seats, you have heated seats, heated steering wheel, you have massaging seats, both massaging seats for the first row. So it's very quiet. It's a very, very composed vehicle. I wish this specific vehicle did not have overinflated tires, and other than that, I think that it's a really nice vehicle. Let's go to the right. And this vehicle does not provoke you to spirited driving by any means. So you just want to drive slowly and gracefully. This is where this vehicle actually shines, and I really like Infiniti for doing this, for extra insulation for the cabin. Very nice materials inside. Yeah, you know what? I actually now understand where you feel and where you will feel this extra torque. So during like normal cruising, this effortlessness with which this vehicle actually drives, it really shines during the mid-range of revolution. So mid-range revs, engine revs, it's about 15, 16, up to 2000 revs per minute. This is where you feel that, wow, I don't have to press the pedal that further down compared to the V6, for example, because V6 you have to rev, and in order to get the V6 numbers of acceleration from 0 to 60, for example, you had to rev that vehicle up, that engine up quite a bit, I would say, compared to this one. So even though that vehicle with V6, I mean pre-facelift model, felt maybe peppier personal for me from the dig, from the start, like speeds like this, 35, 40, and like general cruising around in this vehicle feels much more effortlessly, if I can say so, compared to the V6. So you don't have to rev this vehicle up too much or that much compared to the V6, outgoing V6. So this is a distinct advantage of this vehicle and of this specific engine compared to the V6. But the rest, it's up to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So I want to wrap this video up, considering the driving portion of this video, considering the price, and considering my my thoughts on the interior, exterior, and everything else. So first of all, after driving this vehicle, I want to say, and I want to admit that the extra noise coming from the engine, from 2-liter turbocharged engine compared to a 3.5 V6, is obviously greater. So the level of noise is greater here with 4-cylinder. It's a not surprise, obviously, if you downsize the engine, obviously you're gonna hear more, because the 4-popper is gonna work harder to produce the same amount of torque or even more in this case, and maybe slightly less horsepower. So you definitely notice that. So how different is this engine specifically compared to the outgoing V6 3.5 natural aspirated direct engine V6 producing almost 300 horsepower? So that vehicle, that engine actually felt more peppier from the dig. But this vehicle, this engine, 2-liter turbocharged VC Turbo with variable compression, actually feels peppier and feels working more effortlessly than compared to the V6. So how to explain? So driving and cruising around in the mid-range of revolution, of engine revolutions per minute, right? You feel that it's doing that on a more effortlessness level. So you don't have to press the acceleration pedal that much compared to the V6, because in order to get that 6.5, around 6.5, 6.2 seconds 0 to 60 with V6, you had to rev that vehicle, rev that engine all the way up to the red zone. With this VC turbo compression, with variable compression ratio, 2-liter turbocharged, producing almost 270 horsepower and 286 pound of torque, you don't have to press the acceleration pedal that hard. That's the main difference. So it's easier to drive around. You don't have to press the gas pedal basically all the way up. And in terms of fuel efficiency, it's 24 combined, which is 22 city driving, 27 it's highway driving. So it's slightly better than the outgoing V6 as well. Yes, it was done purely to EPA standards. So definitely Infiniti and other brands, they had to downsize, right? So same happened to Lexus RX. So you don't have any V6 as well. The only difference is the TX Lexus plug-in hybrid, which still has the V6 3.5 natural aspirated as a base engine for its plug-in hybrid transmission. For its plug-in hybrid drivetrain. So, but in this class, I think it's only Acura that still offers 3.5 natural aspirated V6 with VTEC technology. So unfortunately, Infiniti has dropped the V6, so you have to drive this vehicle. And again, thanks to Infiniti of Tampa for letting me test drive this vehicle and showing you its features and its capabilities, and sharing my unbiased thoughts and impressions on this vehicle. If you're interested in buying this vehicle, if you live here in Tampa Bay area, feel free and welcome to Infiniti of Tampa and ask Chris. If you're interested in buying a vehicle, Chris can help you choose your dream vehicle and test any of the vehicles available here, including the new 2025 QX80. Again, I'm not affiliated with a dealership. I'm just sharing my passion. I'm passionate about cars, car enthusiast, so I'm just sharing what I like with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and please support this channel. Please hit subscribe and like button, and see you next time. Thank you.